everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. The lion. New man, so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
Oh yeah, it's Thursday, and we on the round table. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that's Let's Talk Football. Hey, and we the round table, baby. The round table is back live and direct on Thursday. You know who I'm with. I'm with my guy Nicholas. I want the smoke, Rosario. Yeah.
I think I need a smoke right about now, let me tell you. It's one of those weeks.
And as you can see out at my buddies, the host, yes.
I got my beer.
Yes, we know.
The host of Diversity with Delilah, Crystal.
Yes.
We're all jealous she's outside.
It's summer
Right.
break. It's okay. I don't have no students tomorrow.
That's right. No school tomorrow. No school.
There you go. I know you're enjoying that. I know Catherine is like a week or so away.
Yep.
You know, this is that time. Hey, and shout out to our teachers, man. Shout out to Delilah, Kat, all you teachers with everything y'all have had to deal with
The last year and a half, yeah, for
and
real.
home learning, right? You know, and virtual learning, and all the parents and the kids and everything y'all done. Shout out to you, because even if all these other people don't love you, we love you. We love you, and we know y'all's importance. We know you're important.
Last year when it first happened, like parents had to tutor, like, oh, we love teachers. And now everybody forgot about that now.
Yeah.
And like,
They don't love you as
kids.
much anymore, do they?
They're like, take my kids. It's like, oh, now you know.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yo, so shout out to the teachers, man. If you have a friend or a family member or somebody close to you as a teacher,
for us.
definitely give them love.
Pray for us.
Yes.
We're gonna have a bunch of Bobby
Yes.
Bouchers next year going,
Bobby
Mama.
Right.
My mama said.
She didn't teach us this.
Right. Exactly.
No, Delilah, you're wrong.
Right.
So,
in person.
No,
pray
Miss
for
Crespo, you're wrong.
Yeah, pray for your educators, guys. You deal with Bobby Bouchers next year.
Yo, definitely do this. Yo, while we have you here on Thursday night, we want to show some love to some people. It's their birthday. Shout out John Lenny, who came on the show a couple weeks ago. Yo, he just celebrated birthday. Something I didn't know about John Lenny. Shout out to him, because he also graduated from Mason. He was the new, what was it, like the play-by-play announcer
guy for the
for the baseball team. So
Yeah, I
shout
saw
you
that.
out. Yo,
way to go, John. Right, that's
what's up. So hopefully you have a future in that, because
we'll see you on Sunday Night Baseball in a few years at ESPN.
Let's go.
All right.
Hey, yo, and I got to shout out my older brother, Robert Corey Spencer, man, retired Marine who's in the service for 20 plus years, doing big things, man. He lives in Florida now. Shout you out, bro. You've always been in my corner, always uplifting me and helped me out. You know what I'm saying? Even if sometimes you've been a punk, even if sometimes you give me a hard time, it's all gravy. That's what you're supposed to do.
All right, happy birthday, big brother.
Happy birthday, Robert. Big brother.
Let's go. So, and along with that, we definitely want to shout all y'all out. There's so many other people that we can call out, but in the interest of time, we're going to not do that. But, we always talk about the highs and the lows. We want to talk about a Chicago legend that's personally going through it right now. Yeah. Shout out to Steve Mongo McMichael, dealing with ALS. Nick, talk to me about it, man. He's a Chicago legend, and he's struggling.
When I first heard this, it really, I know, some people, again, I know everybody makes the argument about athletes shouldn't be your role model. It's not like that, but you have to understand, I was a 13-year-old boy when the Bears won that Super Bowl. And Steve McMichael was a huge part of that defense for those middle years. And so I grew up watching him, and I actually had a chance in '87 during the strike year to meet Mongo because the team set up a practice, like just for fans. They about 100. I remember me and my dad going, and I actually got Mongo's signature on a picture. My dad may have that somewhere. It was a picture of the guys at the practice, and it was like Peyton was there, McMichael, Dent, a few other guys during the strike year, and so Mongo was always joking and laughing and cutting up, and just to see him now battling for his life is really, for me, it's sad because again, here's a guy who was one of my childhood heroes, played on the defensive line. He was a nose tackle, which was a position I always wanted to play. So, I looked up to Mongo. And so I as part of the support, he has this thing called Team Mongo, which is everybody on his team. But if you go to teammongo.com, they have these bracelets you can get. They're only $10 to support him. Again, he's from the old school football where the insurance wasn't as good. They didn't take care of their players the way they do now.
Amen.
He needs a little help. So if you can, $10, get this nice little wristband, or they have T-shirts as well. But I got my wristband finally in the mail. So definitely prayers and thoughts are with Mongo as he battles through this. Again, when you see him, though, he's still cutting it up, still cracking jokes, even though he's really battling for his life. So yeah, shout out to Mongo.
Yeah, Delilah, it just sucks. I mean, he's a Chicago legend, helped us in the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, you hate to hear this. You hate to hear your guys that you looked up to at one point, or guys that you really revere, going through this type of stuff.
Listen, I'm very grateful to these new generation players that fought for their health rights. Yeah. Because I think that we forget that they're human beings, right? Like, yes, we love the sport, but they're people at the end of the day. And so it's sad that it took this long, but I'm glad that this last decade of players were like, no, you got to take care of us. Like, we're putting our bodies through the ringer. Like, we are hurting ourselves day in, day out for a sport we love, but we should also have, like, insurance. We should have, when we leave and we get older, we should be able to afford to take care of ourselves. So for that, I'll be buying a bracelet, because it's kind of sad, because he's coming again from that old school generation where those players weren't taken care of, and their family has to raise the money to, take care of them. So Mongo, I wish you the best. I'm glad that you're keeping yourself upbeat, and, prayers to you and your family.
Yeah. And it's a shame. It's a shame, man, because I mean, we all know about his football days, and Nick, and actually, Delilah, you might know this too. But one of the things that when I really, being a Washington fan, I didn't see Mongo all the time. But when I did see Mongo is when he had his stints in WCW, and he had his stints with wrestling.
That's right.
So with him,
that was dope.
Right? That was dope. Oh, that was.
Because you remember he wore his Bears colors as trunks.
Right.
He had the blue and white trunks with the 76 on them. Yeah, he represented even in wrestling, right?
He did.
Exactly.
So I show so much love for him for being able to do that, being able to go back and forth and do different things with everything he had, and just
hell of an announcer too.
Yeah. Prayers to him, prayers to his family, and hopefully, you get better. We got a couple people watching us. Shout out to Nathan, saying what's up, y'all. Shout out to Mr. Handy, Anthony Handy, double dipping, yes sir.
Back-to-back grinding effect, yes sir. Never stop grinding.
That's always going, going. And now this is the month of June, and we will talk about why that is relevant later with the new fiscal year in the NFL. But another reason we want to shout out the month of June is because June is Pride Month. So
absolutely.
Happy Pride Month. And I know it's more, Delilah, I'm coming to you. I know in Chicago it's a lot more like relevant and popping, and things are going everywhere. It's not as much in DC. I don't know certain places, but
Well, I mean, like with anything, right? Like the one thing is that we have to remember that the reason we have Pride is because it started with a riot. Okay, a black trans woman threw a brick at a cop because, like always, they were raiding these. So I don't know. Obviously, like there's a lot of history, and so today, even though it's not perfect, a lot of the LGBTQ plus, the reason that your lives are a little better, not great, is because the people before you decided to fight for this, right? And so we have to remember that a black trans woman threw the first brick at the Stonewall Inn, which is what we commemorate. Okay, and then with her, along her side, was a Puerto Rican woman named Silvia Rivera. Again, a Puerto Rican trans woman. Know your history, okay? Learn that it was queer women of color who said, by the way, we need recognition also.
Yeah.
And we want our rights recognized, right? And so the thing is, you gotta learn, because a lot of history, as we know, is whitewashed. So remember, we have pride because of queer women of color that stood up for who they were. And so we're not going to tolerate raids in our bars, because they would raid for what they would consider defamation, or, all these weird, crazy stuff that is, they would use it as an excuse to break up safe spaces.
Yeah.
And as you know, anybody who is marginalized needs a safe space.
Right.
And so they would use an excuse to raid a lot of these queer bars in order to, punish queer people. And so we celebrate pride, and we should, and love is love, and I believe that way 100%.
Amen.
But remember how it started. It started as a riot.
Right.
That's how it began. We started as a riot.
But and as we know, just like every holiday, just like the one we just passed with Memorial Day, it has its origins, and there is the reason we should be doing it, but people use it for whatever they want to use it for. And pride is very big, and there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of people that take a part of that. But I mean, it's remarkable how Chicago just changes. Like Chicago just go. I mean, Chicago's always got the rainbows in certain areas in Boys Town and things like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But Chicago just comes out like Halloween. Like I've been to a couple prides.
We do, and they're fun. Let me tell you, and for the first time, because Pride last month was sad because all of us, right, we're indoors, we're on quarantine. This will be the first Pride month where people can actually go out again and have a good time and actually celebrate with the colors. Now, the parade isn't happening in June, but they're still going to have a Pride Fest, which is great. So they're still going to have their festivals. They have a lot of really
and
Shaka Khan, first of all, Shaka Khan is one of the
Shaka Khan is playing.
A icon from Chicago, Shaka Khan. Love her. She'll be headlining Pride Fest.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
so that's gonna be. I love that, Nick. What are you thinking, man?
It's gonna be lit.
Well, this is okay. And again, and I'm not gonna say it's taken me a while to get there, because I've always known deep down, that we're all human, man. Like we are all people. We were born of this earth, not of our own accord. We didn't ask to be here. You know what I mean? And I just think it's important to remember that, hey, man, we're all human. Like who you love is who you love. Whatever you do in the privacy of your own bedroom is what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom. I mean, I don't tell people how to live their lives. I don't tell people who they should date, sleep with, any of that stuff, man. Just in the same way, I wouldn't want you to do that to me. Like, live your life, man. Be happy. Do what makes you happy. Be with who makes you happy, whoever that is, however you want to identify yourself as, however you want to carry yourself, dress, whatever it is, man, do you, because that's what makes, and as much as some people are ignorant to that, that's what makes the world a great place, is that we're not all the same, man.
No.
We're absolutely we're all different, and we all have different things, but fundamentally, underneath our skins, man, we bleed the same. We're all human. We have a heart. And that's the way it should be. You should just be able to live your life. And unfortunately, again, over the years, we know about the prejudices. And like you said, there's a reason why this started. Because, people were hassling gay people. So now I think it's important to remember that, especially in a month like this, to remember that basic fundamental message, man. Like, I know everybody's different, but there's one race, man. There's human race, and we're all human. We all live on this earth together, and it's our job to kind of take care of each other and be and just be easy, man. Like we're all here for a short amount of time, and let's just enjoy and try to have a good time.
Yeah, live your life.
I love Anthony's comments.
Yeah, I saw it.
Not just as like, Shaka Khan.
She's
a queen. I don't blame you having a crush on Shaka Khan. She is a queen, and you should have a crush on that lady.
Through the fire, through the water.
She's living through the wire, right? Come on now.
That song. So. But yo, shout out to her and shout out to that.
I think you got into the 15-second rule. You're good.
All right, man. Yo, shout out to them. Shout out to her. I cannot wait. And always going. I know probably Catherine's going out there at that particular time. It always happens right around the end of the school year. So shout out to that. Yep. We're a football show. We are the Roundtable. So we have got to move on. And in a subject that I didn't think was actually going to cause that much of a stir. But Nick, I'm going to come to you. Adam Vinatieri will retire. And is he a Hall of Famer? Is he a Hall of Famer, Nick?
Okay, here's the thing. All right, no, because this is where people. So if anybody wants to come at me, just do it. Here's my thing with kickers. I understand that they're an integral part of the game, but they can also be the part that fails you week after week when they don't hit their kicks. Now, again, we all know Adam Vinatieri has been a kicker for a long time. First with the Patriots, the Colts, then the Patriots. And everything, and he struggled a little bit the last few years, and again, I think I'm going to argue against myself in a way because we had the argument before about Phillip Rivers never winning a championship, but I feel like his numbers are enough to put him in. So before we got on, you wanted to throw the rings at me about how Vinatieri has rings, and Delilah even said herself that he's probably a Hall of Famer. And, if he gets in, great. Like, I'm not going to hate on the guy. I'm happy for him if he does get in. I just, kicking is just one of those, like, great. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong, but it's one of those areas where you go, yes, the guy comes in, kicks 3 points, great. And then when the guy misses, he's the reason you guys lost. So it's just, kickers are never in a good position to begin with, literally, because you're brought in because the offense stalled or the offense failed. So now it's up to you to get the team some points. And then when you miss in that situation and the other team gets the ball back, you just see the kicker sitting on the bench dejected until the next time he can kick again. So it is a very thankless job. Let's be honest. Field goal kickers are not, they're not always considered athletes. They're not always considered whatever, but they're an integral part of the team and they're part of the 53-man roster. So again, I don't personally think, Andy wants me to name a kicker that was more clutch in the last 20 years. I mean, off the top of my head, I probably don't have one. Maybe Robbie Gould, but Robbie Gould hasn't played in any significant games. But I mean, I'd probably have to do research handy since you want to throw questions out in the middle of the show now.
No, but
our research department's on vacation, bro.
He ain't gonna retire for a while, but this guy did, and that's what I was saying. I think that his 20-year career, like Anthony was saying, his last few seasons weren't stellar. But are we going to punish him for the last 2 seasons when he's had a 20-year span of stellar kicking and we've talked about this before, right? Where once we leave like the quarterback situation, right? The running back and a wide receiver, it does become murkier, right? Of who should be in. And we know there's not a lot of kickers. There's not. Right. I think there's maybe 2 kickers in the Hall of Fame.
And a punt, isn't there a punt like Ray Guy's a punter?
That's what I'm saying.
Ray Guy's a punter.
Jan Stenerud, I think
is a kicker. Right? Stenerud is in,
What I was saying is, I think Adam might be one of the few kickers, not because I agree with you, Nick. Like, people don't really look at that position as much, but he might be one of the few kickers in a few years because he's not eligible yet.
Right.
But when he's eligible, I think he will be nominated. I think out of the kickers that we could think of, he might be one of the few. He probably will be the 100%. He's probably going to be the only kicker in the nomination. Now, will he be selected? That's different, right? Because we know nominations and selections are different.
2 different things.
It's why people were mad that Randy Moss got passed over again, right? Mm-hmm. So, he was nominated, but he wasn't selected. So I think Adam will be nominated. Will he be selected? I don't know, but I think he'll be in the running at least.
Oh yeah, he'll be in the running. And listen, and my point to the rings was there's a reason why we all remember the name Scott Norwood.
Sure,
because he missed a kick in the biggest time. Well, that's the same reason why we remember Adam Vinatieri, because he made a living off those kicks. Now, I mean, you're always as good as your last great moment, and in this, you're always as good as your last kick. And as you both mentioned, the last couple of years, he ain't been that great. He should not have stayed as long as he did. But who knows what that is? Maybe that's chasing the glory. Maybe that's the fact that somebody's willing to pay you. So, I'll stay.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing.
In due time, he'll get in, I think. In my opinion, I think he'll get in due time. But it's like Delilah said, it's not going to be right away. No,
that's fine. And again, I'm sorry to interrupt, but because my question is always that, do players hurt themselves by staying around too long?
Right.
You should, you got to know when to get out, I think, sometimes. And I understand that, the competitive thing and you want to keep playing, and I get that. So, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, did Adam stick around too long? Who knows? He was only a kicker. So it wasn't like he had the physical grind of, playing every day or every down or that sort of thing. So, yeah, you have kickers who are into their 40s, like Morton Anderson and guys like that who played until they were into their 40s.
Yep.
So, yeah, again, I don't want to hate on Adam, because if he gets in, great, good for him. It'll be a great achievement. You know what I mean? So, but again, we'll see. I'm interested to see what they do with Adam. And if in fact he does get in, does that set a precedent for some of these other kickers who are still around? They get a ring or two and they've had a good career. Do you then all of a sudden question, like Robbie Gould has been a pretty clutch kicker his whole career, but Robbie's never won a title.
But has Robbie ever been in a clutch?
Well, no, that's why I'm saying though. You can
not even Super Bowl. I mean, playoffs.
He clutch kicks in his life, but I'm just saying.
I think this is where. I think this is where, for example, Brian Urlacher never won a Super Bowl, and he's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yep.
And so I think it's going to come down to, for the kickers, because we are going to hold them to a higher standard. I think that's how they're going to make. I think that's how they're going to make the difference. Seriously, I think that. The double doink. Oh Lord.
Yeah. Whatever, Handy.
Not getting in.
We all cried in this
Falcons
bar.
haven't signed Kyle Pitts yet. Stop it.
But I think that will be the difference maker for a kicker. I think that's what they will use, and they will use the fact that he does have Super Bowl rings, and so that's where. And I think that's going to be the clincher for a kicker. Versus
right. That will push him over the top.
I think with a kicker, yes. Because, like I said, the only reason Brian Urlacher is a Hall of Famer is because he was such a good defensive player that even without the Super Bowl win, that got him in the door, right? And so, however, with a kicker, like you were saying, Nick, is a little trickier. And I think that that's what they're going to use, right? Because they're not going to have, like you said, they're not going to have 20 million kickers in the Hall of Fame. And I think that's what's going to come down to. I think it will come down to Super Bowls.
Yeah,
not like a quarterback, like you were saying, where we're looking at stats and stuff, right? Because it's a little different.
Marino is one of the greatest quarterbacks in the world, according to everyone, and he never won a Super Bowl title.
Exactly, right? But he's a Hall of Famer, and that's
he's a Hall of Famer.
Exactly. So I think that with a kicker, I think that that's what they'll use for the skew, right? I think that's what they're gonna.
I get it.
I think that's what they'll use for that measurement. It's like, all right, he's got some Super Bowl wins, so that gives him the edge. But kickers who don't, they're not going to be nominated.
They're not. And at the end of the day, that's going to be the deciding factor in a position that is just hard to judge. Like, we can all agree, it's hard to gauge.
Right.
And it does help your cause if you kicked X amount of game-winning kicks, or have been on teams that have been in the playoffs. That's the other side of it, because you have a lot of kickers that Sebastian Janikowski was brought up by and Nathan one time. He hasn't been in any meaningful games, but he's been on the top of the top kicker, if you will.
He has a strong foot, so I mean he kicked 50-yarders, and that's fine. Right. But in the annals of history, do you go, there's a Hall of Fame guy right there. So, I don't know.
So Anthony said, speaking of kickers, any thoughts of Tom Dempsey getting in posthumously? Posthumously, yeah.
That's a good question, Anthony, because I don't know that they do that. Is there a Hall of Fame or a veterans like committee for football Hall of
I don't
Fame?
think he ain't getting
I
it.
know in baseball they have one, but I'm just saying. Like I remember Tom Desi kicked for the Saints, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, but he had
So
the 63-yard kick is that's his claim to fame.
was
I
that
don't
the
know.
one that they
Yeah,
won? That's
I
you
won?
know. So I don't know.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think they do that with the Hall of Fame. You're right. I know
Right, I
don't
don't
think
think
they
they have a
will.
veterans committee that like votes in a guy who.
They
Nah.
do it. They do it for movies, like we know that, right?
Well, they do it for baseball too. Baseball has a veterans committee where you can get in if you
Yeah.
Which that's another debate all on its own, and I have thoughts
Right.
on that as well. But we can talk about that another time.
At the end of the day, teams that need a kicker will come calling. As long as Adam Vinatieri can kick, he'll have a job. Hopefully, maybe not in the NFL, but as we've seen, there's a lot of different leagues that are coming about. We've seen the Arena League. We've seen the Canadian League. We've seen the new AAFL or some random league that's out now.
Brings back the XFL.
Right, the XFL is coming back again.
I don't think he'll be doing any of that shit. I think he's gonna chill.
Ridiculous.
He's like
it's
40,
ridiculous.
right? He's like 45 or something. He's like, I'm good.
So one of the other in the era of building new leagues, one of the other leagues that will be coming about in 2022, a resurgence of the USFL, ladies and gentlemen.
Trump's not involved, is he?
You're right, and Trump is not involved in this version of the USFL.
All right, very good.
So, if you don't know, some of our fans might be too young to remember the USFL came about in the early 80s, and it was basically like an expansion league. It was another league that actually happened to sign a large number of NFL talent.
Yeah, they did.
We're talking Steve Young.
Came from.
Right. Herschel Walker. We got Steve Young, Jim Kelly, like you mentioned earlier. Doug Williams played over there. Doug Flutie. Anthony Carter made his name in the USFL. You know what I mean? So what does this mean? What does this mean, Nick? Bringing it back.
Oh, it means you're going to cloud this even more. Yes. It's, in a sense, is that you're going to get guys who may have been on the fringe of making it to the NFL who will get to continue playing football, who will have an opportunity to kind of keep their dream alive. You know what I mean? Like to be able to keep that football hope alive of getting to the pro, the NFL, which is the pinnacle. Let's be honest. You can put as many leagues as you want and revamp whatever. The NFL is still the NFL. That's the top. So, but the USFL, hey, if you can get guys and give them jobs, and these guys can continue playing football when they get out of college, and these free agents who get cut by pro teams who still want to play. And, this could be a great for them to just continue playing, to showcase their talents, or just to keep playing, just to keep getting a paycheck to play football while they figure out what they want to do with the rest of their life. I mean, I don't want to downplay this at all because, again, we reboot a lot of things these days. Nostalgia seems to be really big in the 21st century. Everybody wants to relive stuff or let's do this again. Let's do that again. TV shows, move, whatever it is. So, hey, bring back the USFL. Why not? What have you got to lose, right? Come on.
Exactly. Delilah, how do you feel about them bringing this back? Hey, look,
I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun.
It's so
they already have arena football, right? Which is it's intense. I don't know if anybody ever watched an arena football game.
I've seen it. I love arena football, just for the record.
Yeah, it's a shorter field, right? Like you don't have
Chicago Rush, baby. Chicago Rush.
And it's fun as shit, right? Because they have a shorter field, right?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Intense, and you're like, oh fuck, right? But I think this will be fun. I think that I agree with Nick. I feel like this is a second chance for a lot of players. And as Sean was bringing up the history, we have players who Steve Young, hello, Hall of Famer. That's where he started, right? Before he went to NFL.
Jim Kelly, Hall of Fame quarterback.
I think that this is a chance for players to actually show how good they are, and that might happen again, right?
Exactly.
Are you telling me NFL personnel who have scouts aren't going to go out to these games to see if they miss something? Of course they are.
Yeah.
Right? So this is going to give some players some credibility. Some others that just keep playing, have fun with a game that they love, right? They love football.
Exactly.
That's what they want to do. But then you have some of those raw talents that got overlooked, right?
Yeah, true.
And now they're gonna prove themselves. So this is a chance for some of these players to go in there and be like, nah, you should pick me, right? And they might get their chance in the NFL because they decide to play for the US, So kudos. I think this is gonna be exciting. I like football, in my opinion. So the more football, the better.
More football.
So it's good stuff.
Exactly.
More football.
I think it's gonna be fun. We'll see.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Delilah, is that what you want as coming out of college or anybody trying to go into the league, you want tape. You want somebody to have film on you. Look at Rod Smart. He hate me from the original XFL. He got a job with the Panthers because he had tape. It wasn't the greatest, but it got him a job. So these guys just want the opportunity. Same thing with the Arena League. We got Kurt Warner. We see what he did. You know what I mean? So
Matt Nagy was from the Arena League, wasn't he?
See, yeah.
Wasn't he a quarterback in the Arena League, I think?
Yeah, he was.
Gruden, look.
Way back.
Our ex-coach, Gruden, Jay Gruden, he was over there for a while. That's how he got his fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as long as you get tape on them, I get it. This is another opportunity for that. But I don't think it's going to be the same that it was before. And it's going to be in spring. It's not going to challenge the NFL, but it's something nice to watch. I'm with you, Delilah.
We shall see.
We shall see. It's correct. It's absolutely correct.
That's correct.
Next on the show, we're going to get to our longest running episodic moment, our favorite segments, the diversity with Delilah. Let's go. And today,
or like diversity with a couple of radlers. She's been having a few beers over there.
Right, like
doing good.
And today Delilah has a two. We got to double up.
No, hold on, because I want to get my notes. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, get your notes.
I'm back. Hello.
All right, Delilah, take it away. Who you got today? Kathleen Ragey and Kelly Klein.
Wait, I'm back. Y'all see me, right? I came back.
Yeah, we see you. Go ahead, girl. It's all you.
Making sure. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm on camera,
You're there.
Anyway, so
Sean isn't, but you are.
Look, I know that football isn't perfect. Again, I get it. Trust me, I know. And I know that sometimes it can feel like they're just doing things because they want to seem woke. And I get it. But that doesn't mean that we should overlook anyone who makes a stand and says, I want to be in these positions of power. Right. So recently, we've had two major women elevated to positions in the NFL that haven't happened before.
Right.
And so I feel like they need to be recognized. And one of the first women is the Broncos hired Kelly Klein as the executive director of football operations and special advisor to the general manager, making her one of the most powerful women in the NFL.
In the NFL, right.
Right.
It's like basically John Wayne's left right hand, right? Like basically.
Yeah. And so she's not, so she's going to be in charge of scouting. She came from Minnesota. That's where, and that, again, that's where she kind of got her start. Mm-hmm. Klein worked alongside Patton in Minnesota for 9 years. Most recently, she served as the Vikings manager of player personnel and college scouting between 2019 and 2020.
Okay.
She has a strong understanding of football operations and player evaluation. So it's not like, because sometimes when people see these diversity hires, they're like, oh, they're just filling the numbers. Like, no, they have the ability. They have what the qualifications require of that job. And so for scouting, she was in charge of the whole Midwest area. So she was looking at University of Minnesota. Basically, well, you guys know what all the colleges
all the Midwestern schools, right?
So that was her job, like that. She went out and that's, she was in charge of scouting in those schools. So it wasn't like she came from nothing. It wasn't like she was just handed this job. She has the qualifications, and the Broncos were like, all right, come on over, right? And so, sorry, I'm gonna mute myself because there's a motorcycle behind me.
Oh. Interrupted by motorcycle.
Live and direct from my buddies.
I'm telling you, Delilah's outside and the noises, it's getting them. Getting her.
You know, and shout out to my buddies. 4416. Is it Clark Street?
Lost my microphone. Sorry. Right. Clark Street's buzzing tonight, huh?
Yeah. 4416 Clark Street. My
buddies. 80-degree day out, my friend. Yeah, everybody's out, man. They're buzzing.
Oh, yeah.
From there, she's back. The motorcycle left.
Yeah.
Delilah's cracking herself up. No? You back? There you go. Work it out, girl. You got it? There you go. Yeah. Oh, we go fade to black.
There we go.
I think so. Are you back? No, she's not back. Peekaboo, I see you. Peekaboo, I see you. She's muted. We cannot hear you, dear. We see you. We cannot hear you.
Yeah. Can't hear you.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I got you.
You talk about your podcast.
Give me 1 second.
Get them handy.
All right.
Sorry about that. All right. Can you see me or hear me, or did I disappear again?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can't see you.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know why this isn't working.
We're experiencing technical difficulties here on Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable.
I apologize.
Please bear with us as Delilah figures out what's going on. Coming to you live for the first time in a couple of weeks. We're sorry about that, but very slow during the off season, but we're trying to keep you up to date on what we know.
I'm so
having
sorry.
fun.
There we go. Right.
Let's go.
And she's back.
Sorry about that.
We now return to our regularly scheduled programming.
Right.
Anyway, so I apologize. Anyway, so let me go back to Klein. So she worked alongside Patton, who's now in charge of, the Broncos, for 9 years. And again, she worked as a Vikings manager, player, and personnel. Kelly, she has a strong understanding of, football and operations. She has, it's not just a hire just because I want to give, woman a spot or a chance, right? Like, she has the experience and, she is ready to kind of bring it, and so I give her kudos, and hopefully she keeps rising through the ranks, Yeah. So that's Kelly Klein. She was just hired by the Broncos. And then we have one more. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes.
Good.
So it's a little awkward. Sorry about that. When I was on my computer, it was a little easy. It was easier when I was on my laptop because I didn't have to worry about any of it.
Right. We got you. It's okay. I'm sure our audience watching at home is fine with it as well.
Oh yeah. Because they all come to see diversity with Delilah.
And I'm sure Handy's over there trying to think of something quippy to say and something clever, so he could type it on his little computer there and send us a bunch of notes during the show.
Look. Said if Flo would have taken care of it, she would have had to put the silencer on the mic for you. Dude, I got it. So
Flo from Progressive.
Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Nathan. Staying up with us.
Andy, you got to get rid of Julio Jones so they can sign Kyle Pitts, bro.
And stick with us, Anthony.
Falcons need that money.
We're going to definitely figure that one out.
Falcons need some money.
All right, sorry.
Got to sign Kyle Pitts.
All right, so anyway.
I got jokes too. Bring the smoke. Let's go.
So now I'm back to. Sorry, so that was the Broncos. Now I'm back to Catherine Rach.
Coach Klein.
Yeah, so Catherine Rach, basically, she's a Montreal native that she spent over 5 years with the Canadian Football League before joining the Eagles in 2019 as their operations and player personnel coordinator. Okay. And so a lot of her experience does come from a football league. And I know people are like, Canadian Football League, what does that mean, right? But hey, you know what? She came over. Yeah, so like the last 2 years, she was actually already working with the Eagles, and then she got the promotion
Nice.
At just 32 years old, she's one of the youngest VP of football. So again,
good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Awesome.
Yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to was it Catherine
Reich,
and Kelly Klein.
And Coach Mr. Coach Klein.
It's the Coach Klein.
Yes.
Mr. Coach Klein.
Hey, we got her back.
Anyway, sorry. Either way, we have two women who are hired at high positions behind the scenes, because I know that we know the players, we know coaches, but they're not the only people involved with football, right? They're not the only people who make decisions. And so currently you have two women in the highest positions of power given to them. So kudos to the Broncos and to the Eagles for giving these qualified women, because I know people are like, oh, they're qualified, okay? And so they deserve these promotions. And again, I know people are like, oh, they just want to be woke, but someone has to go first. I've said this before.
Absolutely.
Someone always has to go first. Someone has to break that glass ceiling for others to follow. And the more women in the ranks, the better that we'll see the NFL improve, and you will see more women in positions of power, and it's not going to be a news story anymore.
Right.
But
I love that.
So kudos to Catherine and Kelly. You ladies deserve this job, and I hope you rock it to quiet the naysayers. So
exactly, absolutely, I absolutely love that. Thank you for that. Thank you, Miss Delilah.
Thank you very much.
And that was another segment of Diversity with Delilah Crespo, talking about Catherine Rach and Kelly Klein. And like you said, this is becoming more common. I look for the day when it's not something that we have to highlight. It's more just something that this is, hey, look who we got. They were the best person for the
job, right?
Yeah, everybody was looking at them, and we were able to get them. Yes, look what our team's going to do. So, hey, and we're moving and we're grooving. Absolutely love it. But as I mentioned before, and thank you for that, Delilah. As I mentioned before, June has come. June 1st has come, which means a new fiscal year for the NFL. So a lot of things we've said all through the spring that a lot of things are waiting till today to happen. We will talk about the Aaron Rodgers saga as that continues to go on and what's going to happen with that. But actually, Anthony, if you are still here watching with us, then you'll like this one.
For sure.
Julio Jones.
Where
will he end up? Recently, actually, Nick, didn't you say, if I'm not mistaken, or no, it was Ab for shout out to the Washington Football Weekly show I just actually got finished doing before coming on here.
Right.
But Ab was telling me that he had just found out, he had just got an update saying essentially Seattle is one of the top teams in the running to get Julio.
I keep hearing that as well. And again, if it's Seattle, when you look at that receiving core, my friend,
exactly.
When you've got Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and it's more DK Metcalf is number one now. Tyler Lockett, but then you add a Julio Jones to that group, my friend.
Exactly.
Look out for the Seahawks, my friend. But again, we don't know where Julio is going yet. We know Atlanta's feverishly shopping him. But again, they're looking to relieve some money too, because as I said, as a joke to Handy, Kyle Pitts has not signed his contract yet. And part of this whole waiting until June 1st, like I said, where the fiscal year starts, is Atlanta has to dump some cash to make sure they got enough to take care of all their rookie signings and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So before, those guys probably won't get signed until this Julio Jones trade gets finalized and moved on.
Yeah.
So they can, clear up that money and get all their rookies signed up and all that other good stuff. But yeah, I mean, a lot of teams were mentioned, I guess. Like you said, San Francisco. I mean, who knows? I mean, the thing is, any team could use a receiver like Julio Jones if you truly think about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can make an argument for him going any number of places. No, Philadelphia, right? They need more help, So, I mean, but apparently lately the rumor has been that the Seahawks are the front runner And again, that'd be an interesting place for him to end up because you've already got two pretty top-notch receivers there. So adding Julio Jones to that mix, my friend, that could be disastrous for the NFC. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Julio. Again, we know for sure he's going. They are trading him. It's just now a matter of where and when.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Anthony Handy talking about, he said he's out. Told Uncle Shay Shay.
Oh, okay. He let you know that's good, brother. Glad you have that open line of communication to Julio Jones, so you know what's up.
He talks to Anthony personally. Uncle Shay Shay. Yeah.
Right. Uncle Shay Shay talks to him.
Delilah, which Julio is potentially going? Which Julio are they paying for? Are they paying for the Julio, the stud? Are they paying for the guy that's kind of fallen off?
I think that no matter which Julio you're paying for, it's worth having him on your team, right? Because even a failing Julio is gonna catch some shit, right? He is gonna catch and he's gonna run, right? And so I don't blame him for looking at Seattle, right? Also, Russell Wilson came out and he said, you listen to me, right? Mm-hmm. And he feels better about staying in Seattle, right? He actually talked to the public, right? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay here another season. They actually built around me, right? They, addressed my concerns. Mm-hmm. And so, like, for him to have another wide receiver to choose from, yeah, I agree with Nick. That is gonna be hard. And we saw that Arizona beefed up their offense, right? We saw that. We've been talking about that since, we started this segment. And what's funny is, you have people saying he should go to Arizona. Leave Atlanta and go to Arizona because
why not?
There's players over there who likes to recruit people.
Who would that be? What do you mean?
Right.
He tweeted at Julio Jones. He's like, "Come over here, right?"
Come on, Julio.
The water's warm. Come on in.
I think it really does come down to money, right? Who can afford him? Because even at the tail end of his contract, he's going to be expensive. Right. And so, what team has the money to put up a contract for Julio? And if Seattle has the money, I would go for it. I would give him a shot. Seriously. Like, if I'm them, I would definitely pay, if they have the cap space to bring Julio over and give Russell Wilson another option.
Right. Now, Anthony's saying, I'm thinking the Jets have a little something left in the tank. So maybe,
Jets.
Maybe
Zach Wilson and the boys.
But Anthony's saying Atlanta needed to pick up a QB. Love Matty Ice, but they needed somebody more accurate in crunch time.
Well, if you saw my pre-draft rankings, I believe I had them picking a quarterback, Uncle Shay Shay, so they didn't listen to me. They took Kyle Pitts. So you have the greatest tight end probably coming out of college right now, but you don't have a backup quarterback. So you take that for what it's worth, my friend.
So we will definitely be monitoring that. As soon as that news comes out, we will definitely bring that to you live on our next episode. To let you know what is going on with Julio, because that, like you said, Delilah, regardless of if he's fresh and new or if he's been in the league several years, he's still a top tier receiver. He's still a guy that you need to go get and you want to have on your team. And if you have that chance, pick him up for sure. Absolutely agree with that.
If nothing else, he's a great decoy.
Exactly. He can still do.
He can still draw a double team. Let's be honest. So.
He said not the Jets. He said his nickname is Jet, so he still has some stuff left in the tank. Okay, my bad. Thank you.
Benny Rodriguez is the Jet, not Julio.
Right. Oh, you're right.
Benny Rodriguez is the Jet. Right. Forever. That's right. Benny the Jet, my friend.
So with it being the off season, people are making moves. People are moving in different directions. We talked about how Charles Leno came to Washington and how we released a couple guys. And shout out to Morgan Moses, because if I'm not mistaken, isn't he visiting with Chicago?
He visited. I hope that they can get a deal done only because we could use more tackle help.
Yeah.
So I hope Morgan Moses is signed by the Bears. I know he visited this past week, so hopefully they'll they like what they see. They'll invite him to more of the OTAs. I don't know, however they do that, whatever the protocol is, but we could definitely use some more tackle help. And like I said, there's a guy who started 96 straight games. So this guy obviously is able to stay healthy and to play every day and play every down. So who doesn't want a guy like that?
Yeah. And listen, I didn't want to let him go. I loved him. I understand fiscally why, and with the Charles Leno and the rookie coming in. So, but another move that was recently made, Rex Burkhead will be leaving New England and Bill Belichick, and he's going to be going to Houston, which is very interesting over there.
Well, it's still a cluster there. They don't even,
It is.
Deshaun Watson is still going on over there, and apparently he's not going to appear in court till like October or something. Yeah. So you got, what do you do? He's still on the roster.
Yeah,
well, I'm saying he's still. I mean, are people still seeking a trade for Deshaun? A lot of people were waiting and seeing after all those charges came out. So now you're stuck in a position where.
So I feel that Deshaun is going to be another Antonio Brown situation. Which is once Antonio Brown was cleared, because he was, right? Yeah. He was cleared of the charges, whatever. And basically they're like, all right, we got you, right? That's when he got his contract. And I think that's what's going to come down with the same. That's what we do. That's what they do in sports. Let's be honest. If there is no charge, if you're not arrested and thrown in jail or, whatever, you don't go to court.
You go to New England.
right. Or the Raiders.
Belichick gets you.
They keep your ass around, is what I'm saying. And so I think that for Houston, they're waiting to see where the chips fall.
Right. And now look, shout out to Houston because with there's word that Deshaun Watson is not even with the team. He's nowhere even near that area. Tyrod Taylor, remember they picked up Tyrod Taylor.
Yes, they did.
And that's that could be the story of the offseason because we remember Tyrod was supposed to be the day one starter in the Chargers last year, and then Mr. Dr. Herbert stuck that punctured his lung.
I mean, what a way to end your season when the doctor punctures your lung with a needle.
Right.
It says, okay, now you can't play.
This would be great if it came full circle when now Tyrod looks like he could potentially be taking the starter roles. That'd be great.
He could.
Shout out to Tyrod, man.
Right. I'm happy for the guy. Exactly. Like he got a bum steer last year.
I don't blame
now you just prove yourself.
I don't blame Houston for trying to get as many weapons as they can because they don't really know.
Because they have none.
They don't know what the hell's going to go on with the quarterback situation, so they got to take care of everything else.
Yeah.
But that is a key point, Delilah, because they really have been stacking that team.
Well, the running back spot especially.
Yeah. They've been making some moves. And it might have been in hopes to keep Deshaun Watson, but that don't look like that's happening. So that's actually, they might actually watch out for Houston next year. I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking too soon.
I think you are. I think you better go to sleep or something. I don't know what you're talking about. Houston, come on, brother.
Right.
JJ Watt, remember, JJ Watt went to Arizona to be with DeAndre Hopkins. Now they want Julio Jones.
So let's talk about the fact that DeAndre Hopkins is tweeting Julio Jones,
He said, come on. He said, come on. Shout out to Anthony, still talking with us. Did y'all peep the story of Ray Cruz's son that graduated high school last week? I did see that. I did see that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, there's a name you don't hear too much anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. Right. If you don't know that story, definitely check that story out.
If just a quick thing, if I'm not mistaken, to see if my memory still serves, wasn't that the son that he tried to kill?
Yeah. He killed the mother and then tried to kill the son.
They tried to kill the baby, and now the son is 18 graduating high school.
Yep.
So there you go. That shows you how life can be, my friend.
Exactly. So, mad respect, much more power to him. Hopefully everything works out. You've already been blessed for 18 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have a life, son, so I hope you do something good with it. No, you were spared, my friend.
Hey, rings true that no weapon formed against thee shall prosper.
Shall prosper, that's right.
I love that. I love that. Now, for Nick's favorite part of this show.
Oh, here we go.
We got to bring up the saga.
Lord. Why?
The saga that is still going on. And bear with us. check that. We're gonna change the background a little bit, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
You know, we're gonna definitely change the background. Wait.
Why?
We got
Why?
Aaron Rodgers. I know Nick didn't want to talk about him. Delilah, I'm coming to you first. So
yeah,
Nick,
go to Delilah.
Listen, I didn't want to spend a lot of time. It's just basically nothing has changed.
Yeah.
And neither party has been honest with what's going on. Everybody keeps saying press conferences. He's like doing karaoke in Hawaii.
Right.
And he's just doing what he wants to do. And
exactly.
I don't think he'll be traded. Okay. Now, I do think that he's going to be an asshole, though, about it. Mm-hmm. Like, I do agree with Nick. He brought it out. He might sit out the bench. He might be a complete dick about it. But I don't think he'll be traded this season. Next season, for sure, gone. But I do think when football starts, he'll still be the starting quarterback. Will he be happy about it? He might do it to Sean. Right? He might be like, fuck you. Like, I don't want to do this shit. Like,
this has become who's got a bigger pee-pee contest. Because, Brian Gutekunst is like, we're not trading him. That's not what we're going to do. He is our quarterback, blah, 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 blah. Right. And Aaron Rodgers is like, yeah, F you. I don't want to play for you. You had your chance. You blew it. I don't give a crap about you, Gutekunst. So, Butterkist or whatever the hell your name is.
Yes,
but that's my point. It's like, this is a pissing contest.
Exactly.
And it just, they're both going to try to wait and call each other's bluff. And it's going to be this big thing all summer.
The bluff.
He won't show up to the mandatory OTAs that we have next week or whatever. He's out there in Hawaii with his girlfriend and Miles Teller. Singing karaoke, doing whatever, drinking fruity drinks or whatever the hell he's doing. So he doesn't care. He's telling you, as a matter of fact, this is the biggest FU I think you've ever seen from a football player ever. Because when does he ever post stuff on Instagram or post stuff on his Twitter? And he's sitting there posting everything he's doing so that everybody can see. Yeah.
Exactly. What that says is he is on the winning end and Green Bay fucked up.
Yeah.
And they're on the
Well, that's been his contention the whole time. It's their fault. It's not mine. It's theirs. So here you go.
Literally, he's proving it. Now, what that means for like the upcoming season, does that mean he's going to sit out and be a complete dick about it? I don't know.
He might. Look, he can retire and then come back in the next season when he's a free agent and go sign with someone. That's totally what he could do.
And they've proven it, right? J.J. Watts came back from retirement. Tebow came back from retirement, right?
Well, that's a whole other story on Tebow there, but yeah.
I know, but let's not go right.
That's Gronk. You talked about Gronk, right? You're absolutely right, Delilah. Yeah, like they have retired and come back. Another name I'll put out there, and I was going to wait till free agency. Edelman is retired, but I think it's just till people stop thinking about it, and then all of a sudden, mid-season, he's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer all of a sudden. Okay.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Another guy who ends up with Tom Brady.
Right.
And here's the thing, right? So, like, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Here's the thing, like,
why are we still talking about him?
right. We gotta
because I hate Big Ben. He's a rapist. I'm gonna go out and say it. He's a fucking rapist. And yet he said, because he knew this is the last couple of years, right, in his career, he took the pay cut. He's like, fuck it, like, I'm gonna come back for less money so he can hire people around, right?
Well, he didn't have a choice. He knew he was caught.
And this dude who knows that Green Bay has a history of only having, a quarterback for 16 seasons, right?
Yeah.
They don't make it.
No quarterback's ever played a 17th season in Green Bay.
And so he knows that. And so he's going to be a tool bag. So there you go, Green Bay. I hope you're happy. Aaron Rodgers going to be a tool bag the rest of the seasons. Kudos to you. I'm a Bears fan, so I don't give a fuck.
I agree, Nate. Stop giving it life. I'm with Nate.
Yeah. We're
no more Aaron Rodgers.
We're giving it that time.
Let's give Jordan Love a chance. They fucking recruited him, put him out there.
Yeah. Let's see if that happens.
Hashtag free Jordan Love.
Right,
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yes, give him a shot.
Yo, so shout out to that. We're done. We're not gonna talk anymore about Aaron Rodgers. But since it is that off season, there are a number of notable free agents that are still around. We've been waiting for June 1st because we knew about how the fiscal year played out. But there's a couple names out here that is just it baffles me that they're still available. You got the Melvin Ingrams. You got Richard Sherman. Okay. You got Vic Beasley still around. Geno Atkins, KJ Wright.
Yeah,
no, a couple of these guys are a little older, yes, but they're still out there. And Nick, as you talked to me about off camera, the free agent running back list.
Well, this is incredible to me because look at the list. Because I'm also going to give you ages on these guys to show you that just how much. Like first name Ito Smith, running back for Atlanta, is 25 years old. Todd Gurley is only 27. You know, Gus Edwards is only 26 from Baltimore. Devontae Freeman is 29, so he's a little older. TJ Yeldon, 27. You know, Adrian Peterson is the old man of this group. He's 36. You know, Duke Johnson, 27. Chris Thompson, 30. Le'Veon Bell's 29. DeAndre Washington, 28. Burkhead, as we talked about, ended up in Houston. Alfred Morris is 31 out there. Dion Lewis. You know, these Frank Gore is the old man of this group. He's 38.
Either way,
but,
you're right.
Like these guys are all guys who are serviceable backs who could really help a team as a second, third running back. And these are all free agent guys just sitting out there waiting for someone to come along and snatch them up. You know, even some of the wide receivers. You know, you have Larry Fitzgerald, Laquan Treadwell, DeAndre White, Des Bryant, Kenny Stills. You know, Reggie Davis. You know, Amendola. Tavon Austin, you know, guys who have had some success in the league and are just waiting to get that next opportunity.
Either way,
there's a lot of free agents out there, and I'm telling you, a team could really, you know, just fill in certain slots or put in extra. And that just shows you, though, how competitive the NFL honestly has become. Because these are guys like I'm reading you ages. These are all guys in their late 20s who people are going, well, we got a younger guy who's 22 who can do the job. Right, you're going to go by the wayside.
I think they're waiting on the money. Like, I think they're waiting on their money. Like, June 1st was just yesterday, right? And so I think that we're going to see more movement next week. I think once teams have their numbers.
That's what we're waiting for.
Yeah. I think next week we're going to have more trades. I think that's when we're going to see, like, oh, my God, right? I think that's where we're going to see the surprises happen. Because I think that every team is just working through their numbers and seeing what the fuck they can afford. And next week is
Handy's killing me.
So yeah,
I think you're
next
right.
Week. I think next week we'll see more movement.
Well, I hope so, because then we can do a whole show on that.
Woo!
That'd be phenomenal.
Exactly.
So we don't have to do anything about Aaron Rodgers.
Unless he gets traded, because that would be hilarious.
And then that's all we're talking about, right?
That's all we're talking about, Aaron, if he gets traded.
You're absolutely right. It's crazy because a lot of those names on the list. Shout out to Nathan talking about surprised that the Ravens didn't give Gus Edwards a contract.
Yeah.
Yo, there's a lot of guys on that list that you read over and you're like, they were contributing members of teams a year ago.
Yeah, they were.
You know what I mean? They helped teams out, but it's what have you done for me lately? And if it doesn't work financially, you know, sometimes that's you guy misses out. But there's also the side of it where they cut them before the fiscal to save the money. And may be able to re-sign him on the other side.
Injury too. Look at Todd Gurley. This guy was the best back in the league 3 years ago.
Exactly.
Now look at him.
Exactly.
On the free agent chopping block at 27.
Yeah.
There you go. Maybe he'll go to the USFL.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It could definitely bring some of these guys, some of these guys a chance that the NFL isn't willing to give them.
Yeah.
So definitely look into that. Definitely look into that.
For sure, my friend.
Interested in that. All right, so as we're coming close to the end of the show, we know we're getting to the times with OTAs. Veterans are coming to the camp, I believe, in next week.
Yes, we're supposed to.
You know, rookies are here. We know Aaron Rodgers isn't come, and that's the last thing I'm saying about him. That's it. Yo, but what's going on in Chicago? We talk to us. What's up in Chicago, man?
Well, here's
how things looking.
Things are looking actually pretty good because with our OTAs, these are optional. They're not mandatory yet. So luckily, the offense pretty much has all come together to be there for the OTAs. Dalton's there, Fields is there. The only receiver is not there. Allen Robinson is not there because kind of the contract thing. I think he's still kind of holding out for like what's going to happen here. So, but everybody else on the offensive side at least came to OTAs, which I think is a good sign because what's the one thing we've struggled with mightily over the last 4 or 5 years? It's our offense. I don't worry about the defensive veterans. They'll be there for the mandatory OTAs. They'll be fine. Yeah. But to see that the offense came out for these OTAs, these, voluntary ones, to kind of work on stuff and get some reps in, I think that's a great sign. And again, we've signed 5 of the 7 rookies that we drafted this year, which to me is a good sign. Unfortunately, for those who may not know, Daz Newsome, who we signed out of North Carolina, one of Sean's boys there from the Tar Heels.
Yeah,
he did. They think he broke his collarbone. He had a shoulder injury in practice the other day, but should be back by training camp. So no worries there. But signed his contract. The only 2 who haven't signed for the Bears were our top 2 picks, and Justin Fields, Tevin Jenkins. But those 2 aren't going anywhere. Those are solidified starters for this year. So I'm sure that's just a formality. Like again, get the money in order, figure out their contracts, have them sign. That shouldn't be a problem at all. But yeah, so far, from what I'm hearing and what people are saying, the OTAs, they are what they are. You're out there in shorts, jerseys, and a helmet, so it's not like you're full pad contact. But guys are out there. They're lifting, they're practicing, they're running reps, they're learning the offense, they're doing what they got to do, and so that's encouraging, man. Again, Andy Dalton even said this. He's like, hey, man, I was brought in for 1 year. I have a 1-year contract. My job is to come in here and just do the best that I can to help the team, whatever that is. And that's a great attitude by Andy because he's a veteran. He knows what's going on here. He knows, when they drafted Justin Fields, that's the future. Mm-hmm. So you're and again, as time goes on, I've softened a little bit more on the whole Justin Fields thing, to be honest with you, in terms of like, I'm okay with Andy Dalton starting the year. I really am. Yeah. I really am. And I know that, some people will be like, damn it. He is a veteran. Andy, if we can protect, like again, we bolstered our line. Why? For the future, but also for this year too. So if they can protect Andy, he can stand in the pocket a little longer. He can find, he can read defenses. He's been in the league long enough. He understands. He's a veteran quarterback. So if you give him enough time, he could throw to guys. You know what I'm saying? Like he can get, again, we're trying to bring in, guys in here to, weapons. We got another running back in Williams. Hopefully Robinson, we get that situated. You got Darnell Mooney again. You got Daz Newsome coming in. We drafted a receiver. So, I mean, I'm hopeful that the Bears can put it together, and have some sort of decent offense going into the start of the future. And again, when it's Justin Fields' turn to come in, then boom, he should be ready to go. When you find he's ready to go, then there you go. Then it's his time. But again, the expectation was Dalton would come in and be the quarterback, and that's what they've said from the beginning. So, and Matt Nagy just said in his press conference yesterday that Matt, he's taking the number 1 reps. Right now, Andy Dalton is QB1. Justin Fields is QB2, and Nick Foles works with the 3rd string. So that's right now, that's the way it's going, and that's the way it is.
And Nick Foles doesn't care, and that's what I like about him.
Good. He's
seriously, he doesn't give a shit. Like, have you seen him on the side?
I'll take $6 million to sit on the bench for a year.
He honestly, like, listen.
No one holds a clipboard better than Nick Foles. Let's just say that.
I actually give him props because they actually talked about the fact that he would talk to Mitch, right? He would actually talk to him and coach him and mentor. Like, he wasn't a dick about it.
Right.
And
I think in his mind, he's like, I came in as a backup and beat Tom Brady. I'm good.
Right. Like, if nothing else, Nick Foles can rest in the fact that he's a Super Bowl MVP.
He can retire.
He has a ring and he beat Tom Brady. Nick Foles is done. He's fine.
Nick Foles is good.
Like, so he doesn't care if he's a starter, if he's second, or even if he's third. Because at the end of the day,
I'm getting paid to play football.
Exactly.
And not just that, he will be a good mentor for Justin Fields. And I think, and I, all the hate that we give the Ginger, I think he's gonna be a good mentor also. Like, And Justin Fields even said it. I'm here to learn. He's hungry. Like he is, he is the potential franchise quarterback that we've been looking for forever.
Yes, exactly.
This is the diamond in the rough, as they say, that we've been looking for.
Right.
Ladies.
Oh,
he's killing it.
Oh shit! Someone ran away from paying their bill. Sorry.
Oh.
I've never done that. See,
we got drama on Let's Talk Football Weekly Roundtable.
Listen.
Trying to scoot on the bill.
I do not.
As my buddies.
I do not dine and dash because one, I know.
Live at 11, my friend. We got trouble brewing.
Listen, here's the thing, right?
We turned out to Delilah Crispo live at 11 with the latest on the guy who ran out of his bill.
Here's the thing, right?
Delilah, what's going on?
I worked customers for my whole life. I didn't work in a restaurant, and I have friends do, and that's harder. Okay, and so that's why I'm like, I don't dine and dash because I know where that money goes, and it's unfair to them anyway. So that's the excitement that happened in the back. That's the excitement that happened in the background is that you heard
this is the first on Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. Dine and dash.
You heard a server, chase down two Karens.
Oh, wait a minute. Now we're gonna get flack from the Karens. Hold on.
I don't care.
It's over for us.
But they're the ones who tried to book.
Our sponsors are gonna pull out now.
They tried
our sponsors.
They tried to hop on this bus, but the server was faster.
Did they really? They tried to hop on the bus before they.
Wow, it's like that?
Yeah. Anyway.
Shame, ladies. Shame.
Anyway, so with Nick, back to I'm excited about the Bears signings. I'm really excited to see what these rookies can do. They also, I don't know if you guys saw it and we didn't talk about it, but the owners have agreed to allow a longer roster.
Yes, I did hear about that.
I did see that as well. Sure, yes.
And even though they have to cut it down, at least they have more potentials, right? They can look at more people.
You can really take a longer look at guys now.
Correct. Yeah. So kudos. Hopefully, I'm excited. I really hope that Newsome gets healthy because he looked amazing. He's funny. I liked his whole vibe and stuff. And Sean said he's a gem. He played for UNC, so I hope he gets healthy, and I'm ready to see him on the field.
Yep.
Yeah. And shout out to them. Shout out to the Bears. Washington pretty much looks similar. We have signed all of our draft picks and the guy we did not that was not drafted, Jared Patterson out of Buffalo, the running back. So and shout out to the Washington Football Weekly show. Check us out. We're definitely on YouTube and we'll be on podcast. As we broke down, we did a mock 53-man roster for the Washington Football team.
Did you really now?
Yes. Yes. So that was very, very interesting. Keeping it under, keeping it in at that 53-man level. Yeah. So we're going to do another one as the season gets a little closer. But, Washington is, we're making moves. We're doing what's necessary, what we need to do. Depth is a big issue that we've been looking into and figuring out, what we want. O-line, secondary, D-line. Yeah. We are one. And I got to shout out my man Ab. On this because, like we talked about on the show, like we talked about on Washington Football Weekly, we're one injury away, one long-term injury away at several positions where we could be really. And go from the number one defense to the top 15, top 20.
Right, I got
you know what I mean? Yeah. We miss, if we go down on a corner, or if God forbid a Chase Young or a Montez Sweat misses serious time, we could be really going through some things right there. So definitely check that out. But again, right now it's just practice. It's
talk about practice.
Yeah, talk about practice. We out here just hope, liking to see what they have going on. But definitely check that out. And we will definitely bring that to you in the coming weeks. To talk about practice. But I can't wait. I love it. It's June. And so that means July, August, preseason, baby.
Woo,
only 3 this year now.
Hey, exactly. There's only 3 games. And who do you guys have? I know we have the Patriots. We go to Foxborough, and then we come home and we play Cincinnati and we play the Ravens.
We talked about this.
We have Miami, Buffalo, and Tennessee. So
right.
Mitch,
you guys did.
Mitch will return to Soldier Field.
Oh,
Mitch will be back. I believe the Buffalo game is here, and so is the Miami game, and we go to Tennessee in week 3.
It's gonna be exciting stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, we get that Buffalo Cup returns. Mitch can return to Soldier Field, I believe.
Might have to look into going some preseason games, man.
I want to go to the Miami game. I won't lie. I want to get into that one.
See that.
Let me double check that though. I don't want misinformation and people yelling at me.
Right. Right.
You know.
We'll see. No, it's gonna be fun. No, I'm excited. I want to see how I want to enjoy the summer, so I don't want to come too fast. Right. But when it does, I'm excited about the upcoming football season. One is 17 weeks, right? We know that now. We get an extra game, and I really do.
I was right.
I do see a lot of teams going to the last. I really do see a lot of teams duking it out. I do think that 17th week, it really is going to come down to like the last few teams. But it's fun.
Dolphins, Bills are here, and then we go to Tennessee for the third.
It's going to be fun. The preseason games are going to be exciting. We'll get to see Justin Fields out there, right? Because they're going to.
Yeah, you would think so. Exactly.
They're going to put him out there because they never play a full game, right? They're going to have. I don't know how they're going to split it. I don't know who's going to take over.
I'm sure Fields will get a lot of time in the second half, especially.
But
you'll see Fields there.
We'll see, man. Look, if the Ginger could get us a win the first game, I'll be
Ginger. Andy Dalton, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, I'll be happy.
I'll be happy. I was still not happy that they signed him, but he's here.
If he can get us a win, I'll be okay with that.
Accept Andy into the fold and let's get to work. Right, exactly.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Delilah. Don't want it to rush through, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, we've been. It hasn't stopped for me. It hasn't.
Right. It has not stopped for Sean.
Normally in February, it stops, and I don't do this until August.
Been crazy. I know, but it's been crazy.
We've been doing it every week.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Like,
who said we were taking a break? What is going on?
All this drama, like there's so much drama. It's like a soap opera.
So much.
It feels like the WWE took over.
There you go. Took over football. Yeah.
Right. I love it.
Like, what's going on? Like, what?
It's always something. It's always something. So, hey, we're coming close. We're coming towards the end of the show, and where we say it's one last word. Yes, sir. We are at the last portion of the show. We're doing one last word, and actually, I'm gonna give us a topic. Normally, I let us all speak and just get what our last word is. But this week, we have had the NBA playoffs are going on. And if you have not been watching the NBA playoffs, there has been a number of incidents. It's not if it was one or just two, okay, maybe we can overlook that. But there has been at least 4 or 5 incidents all within the last week or so. From a guy spitting on Trae Young at a Hawks game, to Russell Westbrook, who had just sprained his ankle a bunch of times, walking off the court, and some little punk is going to pour popcorn on his head and then try to run away. Like, get out of here. We just saw what happened with Kyrie Irving with somebody who, I got to give this guy credit because he had impeccable aim. Because if you saw how far away he was, he hit Kyrie with that water bottle. That was some distance now. But it should never happen. We've heard about Ja Morant and all the things that they were saying about his family.
That was crazy.
I don't get this. Are y'all? We have waited a year, over a year to get back to these games live and in person, and y'all gonna go ahead and mess it up like that?
Yeah, acting wow.
Delilah, go ahead and speak on that.
Acting wow. Okay, so here, listen. I think that my problem is that I love sports. I like Major League Sports across the board, and at the end of the day, you have to remember that they're fucking human beings. Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Like I know people are like, popcorn, that's not gonna hurt them. But I'm like, well, why do it? That's my thing. Right. Why take the moment of a fun game to throw shit at a player, right? Like, what is the purpose? Like, Like, be respectful. I know a lot of y'all forgot what manners were because y'all been locked up for over a year in your house.
Yeah.
But like, they just let us back in these arenas. They don't have to let us back in. Even if states, by the way, even if states say, hey, let's lift restrictions, allow players in, they don't have to do that. Right. They could do whatever they want. They could be like, screw you, I'm going to go back to just letting certain fans in. Or, you know, whatever. Like, stop ruining the fun for other people. It's one thing if you get fan in the stands amongst yourselves, which is hilarious and stupid.
Which has been happening. Which has
happened
happening.
as well, right?
It's hilarious and stupid. But like, don't throw bottles at people. Don't spit on people. I said this before. Like, if you spit on me, we're fighting. And I'm a non-violent person.
Yep.
Okay? My first rule is, how can this not turn into violence? But don't try me, okay? Because I am medium ghetto, you know, like, I don't know if y'all saw those
medium ghetto.
Like, you know, pray with me, but I got hands, right? So like, if you spit on me,
throw some hands.
Yeah, like, if you spit on me, which is so disrespectful, I'm gonna duke you out. Like, we're gonna fight. Because that's the thing too. It wasn't just people are throwing bottles. People are spitting on people. You're spitting on players. Like, that's the most disrespectful shit ever. Like, take your shit at home. Like, fuck. Like, stop it. Like, ridiculous. Like, if you're gonna go to a game, enjoy it. You're angry because your team lost. Who gives a shit? Like, seriously. Like, stop.
Not that serious. Right.
Like, stop it.
Right. So Delilah, we got to shout you out. You medium ghetto.
Medium ghetto. I gotta remember that one. Medium ghetto.
I love that. Medium ghetto. Nick, what you think, man?
Okay, I'm gonna say something here.
Who put medium ghetto too? Because I didn't see their name.
Oh, it was Ab. It was Shirtless Wonder. Yeah, it was Ab.
Shirtless Wonder.
You know what's up? Yes, Ab. Right? You know what's up. Thank you.
He just needs to put a shirt on.
No, but he knows what it means. You medium ghetto. Thank you. Thank you.
It's funny because a lot of people, and I don't want to get too deep here. I'm not Dr. Phil or anything. But I just think this speaks to a deeper issue. Like, people don't have any home training. People don't know how to behave when they're outside. You know, like, if I was your mommy and daddy, I'd be a little embarrassed that you're like, my son's out here throwing water bottles at people, or that, throwing popcorn out. Like, who taught you? Right? Like, did these kids not get an ass whooping when they were younger or something? Like, did they never get punished or something? Like, because to me, this is ridiculous. Like, there is no way in hell that if my mama saw me on TV throwing a water bottle at a basketball player, that she wouldn't have something to say to me the next time I talk to her.
Right, exactly.
Like, come on, man. Like, this is just ridiculous. Like I said, you're there to enjoy a sport event. Yeah, I get it. You paid your money. Fine. If you want to boo or bring a sign or heckle a little bit, that's fine. But don't go over the line. Don't throw stuff. Don't call people names. Don't make racial slurs. That stuff is just not necessary. It's just, if anything, it shows your ignorance more than anything else. So if you want to act like a damn fool and look like an idiot on television, fine. Go ahead.
It's on you.
If you think you got your 5 minutes now that because people will mention your name for a day or two while they talk about this, fine. Take your 15 minutes of fame, shove it straight up your candy ass, and be done with it so I don't have to see you anymore. Because I'm done.
Right.
Done.
Exactly. But you know what? Hey, look, and there's two sides of this, because there's one side that's the shut up and dribble community. They don't respect them. They think you're getting paid over your king's ransom to play a childhood game. But they forget that they're the ones who mark up these prices. They're the ones who want these players to get all this money. But all of a sudden, they're making too much. You're one putting so much emphasis on this. So that's first and foremost. But then on the flip side, it's like, look, I don't advocate violence. I don't condone it. I'm not, but like all of y'all are saying, you spit on me, we're gonna have problems. Like what Shannon Sharp said. He said his granddaddy told him, you spit on the ground. So in turn, if you spitting on me, you saying I'm less than the ground, we got issues, because that's not gonna fly. That's just not gonna, you know what I mean? And look, and shout out to Ab, the Shirtless Wonder. You spit on me, you might as well be calling me the N-word, or because that means we going at it. Like that's just it. And it's such a level of disrespect. But even as far as the racial slurs and saying things about people's moms, dude, it's sports. At the end of the day, it's what are we talking about? Because I was reading stories about that the little leagues are having now so much trouble finding refs, and they're so short-staffed because you have idiot parents that are running on the field and doing this. Like, what are we talking?
Ruining their lives, threatening their lives. And I'm like,
are you kidding me right now?
I know no one likes a bad call. But I'm gonna go out there and say, like,
again, you forget people are human. They make mistakes.
Stop threatening
Move on,
people.
baby. Move on.
Yeah. Stop threatening people. And it's crazy because I've seen it too. Like, you're threatening people's lives over a game. I want you to step back and reflect.
To me, I've never understood that. That is ridiculous.
Step back and reflect on what like you just did and said.
I think you need to reshuffle your priorities, my friend, and figure out where what's important to you and what isn't.
So, some of these are the same. Some of these are the same kids that would play video games, and if something messed up, they throw the video game at the screen or the controller at the screen. Those are those same kids that can't handle that are now grown up, and they're just like, "Oh, you're not doing what I need to do." But
that's because their parents, as we've said, will go and fight a ref, right? And be like, like they're seeing that shit. Like,
it shows. It's right down the line.
I'm very grateful.
You can say all you want. It starts in the home, baby.
I'm gonna say something. Listen, I am very grateful that I grew up in a household where I think I was not abused. By the way, people are like, I was not abused.
I was whooped.
If someone,
there's a difference. There's a big difference for us.
Looking at me was enough. If my mama looked me in the eye,
exactly. I understand that. Yeah,
you get the look, you get the side eye.
I knew what was gonna happen. If I pushed that button, it was on me. Like what happened
you get your full name called on you.
Like I knew if I pushed that button, I earned that ass whooping. Like I literally went out there and I thought I could be my mama's friend, and my mama was like, "I ain't your friend.
I ain't your mama."
Right. Yep.
I'm your mama. Ain't your friend. Like,
exactly.
So
I'm not your buddy.
So let me tell you, like, I was never like, I don't know what's going on, like, and it's not just this generation because I've seen it. Obviously, people grow up into assholes. Like I used to be around my friends, and I would see them curse out their mom, and I would stand back going like, I'm sorry, did you just talk to your what? Like I would have I would have no teeth. Like no teeth.
Right.
Like blood, like nothing. Like gone. And gone. Like broken teeth, like hospital, like whatever. Like legit. Like
it's true. It's true.
But even and if I did get my teeth knocked out, I knew it was my fault. Here's the thing, like I knew it was my fault because it never came to that level. It was enough. They looked at me and it was enough. So if I got a spanking, I knew I was like, I pushed that limit. So y'all need to relax, calm down, go to these games, have some fun. Don't throw no popcorn. Because like they were saying, if my mama saw me on TV, even as an adult acting out, she'd be like, did you just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm an adult.
Right.
I'm an adult.
Right. Absolutely.
And if my mom saw me being an asshole on TV for no reason, like what? Like how did I raise you? I didn't raise you this way. I raised you with manners. That's literally what would come out of her mouth. Like I raised you with manners. Like what you doing?
after you got hit, after she smacked you across the face. You know what I mean?
That's
you
absolutely
doing?
right, Adam.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Professional from 9 to 5 at 5:01. Ass whooping time commences.
Catch these hands. Catch these hands. Yep.
Yes, you catch these hands. He's right. Yes.
Right. But
calm down, y'all.
Y'all need to calm down.
Relax.
Yeah. Y'all need to calm down.
Games.
Because for real, then they'll start making it permanent virtual.
Yeah.
And then we can't go to the game.
Right, exactly. Okay? We can't play no more.
Y'all need to get it
together.
together.
One bad apple who ruins it for everyone.
Right.
That's right.
Like,
but now look, shout out to the NBA because they are not playing.
Finally,
at least 3 or 4 of those people got either banned, banned from the arena, or one dude got arrested. You know what I mean? So shout out. I absolutely love that they're handling it and they're trying to take care of it. But it's got to stop. This is ridiculous. we've been waiting for this long, and y'all gonna act like a fool? No. And honestly, I hope it don't get to the point where the fans start to be like, look, you're gonna ruin it for all of us, so we're gonna deal with it. You know, have fan justice.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right. You don't want that either.
You will see some fan justice.
Like, you know what I mean?
What you doing now? Like
that's where some of these fights start. You know what I mean? Because somebody's saying some stupid stuff, and the other dude's like, "Man, just shut up, man. They're just playing." And he's like, "Don't tell me to shut up." And then
don't tell me to shut up.
There we go. So, shout out to. Hey, look, we're all fans. Every one of us loves watching it. We love being a part of it. Okay, but we have to respect that they're still human beings. You don't want nobody coming on your job and pouring popcorn on your head or spitting on you, any of that stuff. So hey, we got to give them that same. We got to give them that same courtesy because we come to see them. You know, they do good for us. So I'm telling you. So
I see too many friends lose their jobs because of that.
Right. And look,
it's never happened to me, but I've seen my friends who they're like, I was in the register. And this customer threw pop on me, and so I flipped. And I said, I understand.
I get it. But so shout out to the league trying to handle this. Shout out to us as fans trying to get back, trying just to get back to normal. Trying to get back to normal, man. So and wait, let me see. Ab says, bro. Russ don't look like he playing with anyone though. Y'all need to leave that man alone. Hey, you saw how many people it took to hold Russ back.
Right,
and that's on one good ankle. Exactly. That's on one good ankle. So we will see. Ladies and gentlemen, we can talk all night, but we do have to go. It is 12:21 Eastern, 11:21 Central. Yes. I am still at work. So definitely thank you so much. Shout out to Nathan, shout out to Anthony Handy, and shout out to Abdullah, the shirtless wonder. Shout out to y'all for sitting here and watching us the whole time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be back with you soon.
Right.
Yes, and I cannot wait. So for me, your host, Sean Spencer, Mr. I Want the Smoke, Nicholas Rosario.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And the lovely host of Diversity with Delilah Crespo.
Over there.
Yeah, right?
I'm chilling. I'm enjoying this patio.
We know you are, darling.
Right. Delilah, I just witnessed the Dine and Dash Crespo.
Right, yeah.
What wasn't me?
I know, you witnessed it. You witnessed it. Right.
We know it wasn't you, Delilah.
Hey, and shout out one more time, my buddies on 4416 Clark Street.
North Clark Street, Chicago, right?
Clark Street.
My buddies.
Well, you cannot outrun the bartenders, so don't try.
No, we don't do that.
Yo, this season when we do fantasy football, it's gonna be lit.
Yeah, you know what? We're looking at. My buddy's kind of a proud sponsor now, I think, of Let's Talk Football Weekly.
We're gonna be lit. We're gonna be
they're gonna be some contributing to our craziness as the football season starts up again in September. Anthony. So yes, this will be fun.
Listen, I'm always gonna look over my shoulder. I don't trust nothing. I gotta look around. Right? I'm a city girl. I don't know, I gotta make sure my surroundings are cool.
She said, "Hold up! I have to have my back against the wall. I need to
back against the wall.
The
patios are treacherous in the city. You gotta watch."
Who's that sneak up on me? I gotta keep it
exactly. But hey, shout out to all of y'all for watching. Please join us next week. We will be back with you, giving you all the news and the notes.
And the smoke.
And the smoke. Yeah. Hey, appreciate y'all joining us, man. We will be with you next week.
Have a great week, guys. Everyone. Yep. Take
care.
Everybody.
Good night.
Hello, everybody. Hey, what's going on, guys? I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. The lion. New man, so fine.
this. All right. I am Janae Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.